Right, here we go, guys. Recording this on my phone, so apologies for the shakiness and shit audio. Fitting Hell calipers, these bad boys today, along with the braided hoses to the beast Yamaha MT10 2016 model. This one, I've already stripped half the side off. A few points to note on the MT10. When you order a braided hose line, the braided hose line will come, and these two lines here that split off from underneath this manifold here and feed your calipers come with side mounted banjos like this. So this is a replacement part that will get mounted under there, and the banjos, as you'll see, will bolt onto the side like so. With the Hell caliper, let me grab the right one. With the Hell caliper for this side, the mounting hole for the banjo there is facing towards the bike. So if you're trying to fit this to that, it ain't gonna work. When you order the calipers, you get the option to choose two lines. First thing you want to say to them is that I've got Hell calipers, so my line to the calipers needs the banjos like so. So when this fits on here, this is hard work with one hand. When these fit on here, my banjo bolt is going to go there and thus sit nicely on my caliper like so. The other thing you need, your second line, if you've got an R1 master cylinder, which I have fitted here using the OEM brake lines, is the exit point on the R1 master cylinder. It's different, it comes out at the side. I can't remember where the other one went, I've had this on for so long. But the OEM line fits, it just comes out at a shit angle. You need to make sure when you're fitting it, you point it down so don't chaff the tank, and you have to reroute it slightly differently. But there's plenty of length there, and it all works jim dandy. So when you get your second line, you want to tell them you've got an R1 master cylinder if that's the case, and they'll put a 70-degree banjo on there, so your line will follow existing routing as intended. That's it for that. I haven't done anything else to buy within the seat and one side panel. What I have also done, which I think I've already explained, is I've got some bleed valve banjo bolts to replace these two lines here. These hard lines are staying, these ones will be replaced with the kit. And I'm going to replace the banjo bolts of these because when I fitted the R1 master cylinder, it was a shitter to bleed. Hopefully these will make it easier. 10 quid from Hell. They chucked them in when I bought the calipers. See how they work and if they make it any easier or not. Just a couple of tips for those that are complete biffs and haven't done this before. Removing the side scoops. There's loads of videos on YouTube. I'm just going to do it quickly. You have got little shitty, and I can't even get in there, plastic rivets that hold quite a lot of the panelling on. Let's see if we can see one here. There. And what you do, fucking hell, this is hard work doing it with nothing. Trying to do it for the viewfinder. Hang on. I use the arse end of an Allen key, pop the middle in, and the thing pops out. There's another one, which I'm not even going to try and show you, which is down under here and up there. Have a feel, fuck about with it, you'll find it. That one needs to come off, that scoop comes off and pulls off nice and easy. Both the rivets out, pull, just clips on, comes out. Then undo these 2 bolts and the fake air scoop will come off. 2 bolts removed. Give it a lift. Again, trying to do it one-handed is an absolute bastard. But there you go, just lips off. This, that bit there, use my finger. That is the alternative mounting point. If you think the horn looks shit, which it does, underside, you can mount it in there. No rewiring or anything done. Feed it through the back here, into there. I did it, horn sounded shit, really muffled. Put the horn back to where it was supposed to come from. Under here, you've got a bolt here, and then buried in there is another one somewhere which undoes this side panel here. So have a rummage. In there is another screw. Undo those 2. This one comes off. Bolts out. I've already taken this front panel off. Again, there's 2 plastic poppers that pop in there, one on the other side. Take them out. Panel in the middle lifts off. Undo these bolts here, which releases this here. I've put them back in because I'm a shit for losing stuff. And then this, I'll do it one-handed. No, I won't. I'm going to drop the fucking thing. But this just pops off. Don't forget, undo the screw under the seat. Alright, undone the bolt there. Same on the other side. Taking the nut off the pivot point here. I leave that in because I can now one-handed lift my tank up, take off the breather hoses, of which I've marked up previously, red tape so I get them on the right way around. And we've then got the fuel clip, this white one under there, that drops down with a fat blade screwdriver and pulls off. Something else I didn't mention, so see this is the fuel feed to the engine. There's a little white thing, clip, pop that down, that pulls off the bottom of the tank. Next to it's this fuel level sensor, I think, but that needs to come off as well. Then onto the air box, plug in the middle, comes out, bolt in there, bolts all the way around. What I've done for this is I purchased rusty, because they're only £4 specifically for the job. That's saying long screwdriver bit, don't have electric screwdriver, just use my drill. Makes the job a hell of a lot easier and quicker, and reaches in the middle. Next, velocity stacks need to come out. 1, 2, 3. Undo them, and the airbox case we'll remove again. I need 1 hand, 2 hands really. So I'm going to stop here, but that's how it comes off. Oh, is it coming? Ah, don't forget that. That's why. Do that one as well. Once you've taken that off, hose at the side, pliers, squeeze, pull the hose off, come off. Like so. Big air scoopy thing. Pull all this shit out of the way. Take this off in a minute. Bolt here, underneath there. Get your spark plugs. Some paper towel stuff down those. You don't want any shit going down there at all. And then we'll see where we go from there. New territory for me. Alright, here we go. ABS unit. 2 lines to the front there. I just come under here into hard lines and another manifold here. And then they run all the way around here, out to the front, to the underside of the bike, up there. The lines for that are these two. the other two lines in the kit. This one here, that's the rear. That one there, the black sheath on it goes to a master cylinder. And this one here is, as I said earlier, the 70 degree banjo from the R1 master cylinder to the feed. Flow and return lines, and there'll be direct swaps into there. What I've done here, taken out the mounting bolt this side, 10mm mounting bolt this side. I think that's a 5mm hex head Allen bolt there, and then taking out this here, just giving me a bit more room once I've taken it out of the grommet to fuck about with to get in there, because we need to be tightening or loosening off these hard lines here. So I've just loosened it all off to give me a bit of room in there. Draining the system, reservoir caps off. I've done one side already, 8mm spanner, brake the nipple valve tightness, and I've got vacuum pump bleeding kit bollocks. That's just come off, and it's going to keep coming off because I'm doing it one-handed. But nice little sucky, and away it all comes, all fills up in a little reservoir bottle there. Make sure it's all out. It's good for bleeding as well, this thing. The thing you've got to be careful of when you're bleeding is it does suck air in if the thread's shit and your nipple valve's around there. Alright, undone the bracket here, putting that back in, so keep losing them. Undone the hard lines from the manifolds, unclipped it there. There's a bracket here, this one, that sits in there, that holds the hard lines, taken that off. Undone the ABS sensor, that gets the wire out the way here. Undone the manifold bolts there and there. Needed a bit of WD-40 or equivalent there. And then you come round to the other side. So excuse the kids' toys. So I'm in the conservatory, aka the playroom. I'll edit this shit bit out. And under here, we've now got the free play of the hard lines. So we can get to the bolts and get them all undone. So now, removed the line from the master cylinder, bit of tissue up in the hole, give it a bit of a wrap round, just keep it all in place, stop any drips coming out. Now I'm gonna bring that, unclip it down here, loops underneath the fork. The bike is sweating because it's been outside and it's fucking boiling here now. And then I can use that to undo. I've put an Allen key in here to stop this spinning while I broke the seal at the top there. That is full of shit. Definitely needs some WD-40 or something. GT85 as I'm using. And the top there, loosen it all up because it is just full of crap. So the Allen key stops that spinning, and now that this brake line from the master cylinder will be loose, I'm hoping that I can turn the manifold rather than doing 1/8 of a turn on the spanner with a spanner. Right, now that the master cylinder line is down and on the side here, it literally just spins around one hand. So that is coming off piece of piss, which I'm glad about. Alright, so I've done the same with the Y line feed to the calipers from the hard line. Undone them on both sides. Got the caliper off on that side. There she is. And this, again, with the radiator unmounted, you can actually push it back and just protecting my Gucci Evo Tech rad protectors. you can just twist it round and it comes off. So new lines in from the manifold, bolted back in. This little black bit, could have done a video on it, that pulls off. It's just like a plastic cover, and just up there, top of my finger, that's actually a 13mm hex part of the mould. So you can get a 30mm spanner on that, 10mm spanner on the actual, if you can see it, on the actual manifold nut. There. That needed loosening up, needed some WD-40 wire brush on that, because that nut should slide up and down on that hard line. So freed it up a bit. That allowed me to get in, get the bite on the threads, and then as I took it off, same way as I took it off, I was then able to twist it on and then hold 13mm on there and 10mm on there and get a nice tight bite. Just doing this line here, I haven't seen how this angle lines up yet, but it generally looks okay at the moment, but it's nothing that I can't address should I need to. Then the same, I've bolted them back onto the bracket now, and I just need to tighten up this top one. Okay, so that's caliper on, 12mm spacer. Fitting diagram, spacers there. Gone for 12mm. That's given me the pads biting on the disc with the requisite clearance. I think it's 2mm. And if I go any shorter, the disc is going to chaff the actual caliper itself. The rotor will catch the caliper. Design flaw. Got the braided lines in. Got my alternative endings, because the other ones, if you remember, were mounted at the side. These are going to go on like so. Even with a degree of flexibility, these are not going to sit up like that, and because of the angle, they're not going to fit in the bracket. So I'm probably going to cut this rubber bung off and just have them loose. Try and put some sort of nice blank in that or something in there, because it looks shit. Now, show you what I mean. There's the bracket. That's how the banjo fit the mating face of the caliper. And the natural line. So if the banjo was straight, it would chaff on the nut. And there's nothing I can do, because if you put it in to get it onto the bracket, it pulls out from the bottom and put an unnecessary stress on it. So I'm going to cut that off and just have it floating. Also, putting that bolt back in, like I said, I'll get some nice stainless or titanium bolt to go in there, but the bleed nipple is going to be right in the way of the bolt. So these are generic, all makes, all brands calipers, but this is an issue I can see with the MT. Not the end of the world, given the performance they're supposed to give you, but little shit like that quite annoys me. Here we go, other caliper on, 27 Newton meters. Did these up at 28 in the end. As per Hell spec, which is only a gnat's cock off what the book spec is. Again, 12mm spacer. Again, I've lost the bracket here, which for this side has implementations on the ABS lead. There was, if you can see under here, one of these on here, and I couldn't find a way to fix it on, so I've cut it off and tie wrapped it, leaving enough of a loop there so there's no stress. Because of the new slightly different routing, the bracket that holds this one, and basically a little plastic clip that goes into the bracket here where the manifold's built on, that won't fit. So again, that's been tie wrapped up to there. That's the front end done. I've reconnected the ABS sensor. I'm now going to refit these brackets, refit these lines, replace these soft lines. So there's the seat thing I took off. There are the bleed valve banjos, and they fit just tickety-boo. Might end up having to take that off if you needed to bleed them in the future, but it's a one-time job, hopefully. That's the lines running in. I'll take that back off. Not overly impressed with the routing. I think that's probably a bit too long, or it could have come round a bit more, but they're in. Brackets back on. Oops, sorry. Brackets back on here. ABS reconnected, although I've put it at the top and not underneath, and I can't be asked to unclip it all. That ball ache. That's it for that for a minute. So here we are, day 2. Got banjos fitted on the ABS unit, but could I get the air out of the system? Could I fuck? I must have passed about 300ml fluid through the system, no bubbles coming out anywhere. Tried my vacuum pump there, that just seemed to be sucking air past through the bleed screws. Good old fashioned jar and a tube method. So last night, just left all overnight with the brake clamped to the throttle. See if that's had any joy. So I'm happy I've got some decent feedback in the lever now. However, I'm reassembling the tank. Can't get it to sit properly because that fucker there is in the way. Now I've put it there because this bit here should sit and slide next to the banjo fitting on it. But because where the bend is, there isn't enough in it. So it's gone there as one way to fit. I'm going to have to take the whole fucking lot off and try and do something with that. Probably with a set of mole grips and pair of pliers. So the final last bit of the Hell's Lines feed. This is about 2 weeks after I realised that once the brakes were on, I bled them. I hadn't actually done a video of the end product. So here is the beast in all her glory. There are the calipers fitted. I've literally just got in from a ride home from work from across the fine moors here of the southwest. The roads are absolutely shit ice still. So apologies for the disgraceful state she's in, but there's the brakes, all fitted, lovely jubbly. Did have to offset these at a slight angle, the banjos here, because of the mounting nut there. And I don't know about you, but when I'm having my tyres done, which I've just had, new front there, Rotec 01, lovely jubbly. The calipers, just take the calipers off, it's so much easier. Trying to get the wheel around these, it's an absolute pain in the ass. I don't actually think you can take the wheel off without taking the calipers off. Yeah, I've had to mount them slightly outwards, but I think it looks alright. It actually looks really tidy. Not had any issues or dramas. The feel on the actual brake now is absolutely sublime. It's really nice, a nice light feel. Don't have to put too much pressure on before you start feeling the initial bite. I feel a lot happier now when I'm sort of like trailing it into the corners ever so slightly. I can apply a lot more braking force with a lot less pressure, and so the brakes are spot on. Really happy. I've also now fitted, since the video first made in the conservatory here, which is now resumed into Toyland, the rear lines, straightforward. They're pretty much a pattern part for the OEM. Again, apologies for the shit state. But the two lines that come for the rear, the little line that goes from the master cylinder to the manifolds behind here. Flow and return from the ABS units, the hard lines there. Screw into the new manifolds of your other lines, which join in just down there. And then, so you got one that feeds, loops around behind itself in here to the master cylinder, and this one that comes from the ABS unit down into your rear brake. But yeah, very happy with it, very happy with how it looks, very happy with how they perform. They did need another bleed, but the R1 Master has got this little nip up here, so I did a reverse bleed, putting brake fluid in through the caliper bleed screw here and forcing the air out, and it's done the job. I've not needed another bleed since. Very happy. Cost a lot of money to get to this stage. Probably not worth it for the performance gains, but I've done it over a period of 18 months, which has made it a little bit more bearable. But all in, I think you could probably just get away with a decent master cylinder and uprated pads. I think this is a bit showy or for racers. Well, happy with them, not a criticism at all, but do we really need them, us mere mortals riding on the road? I suggest probably not. Thanks for your time watching the video. It's the first one. Critique it below if you so wish. I probably won't bother responding because I've just put this on to help people out. Let us know what you think. Take care, ride safe.